So, for your daily dose of stupidity. Yep. Back when Batman v Superman came out and the reviews poured in, there was outcry from fanboys everywhere that the critics were being paid off by Marvel. Yes. Really? People really thought that Marvel, a company on top of the fucking world right now, would take time and money out of their day to try and sink the reviews of their rival out of sheer pettiness. You've got to be a special brand of paranoid to actually think that's the case. You know what happened with the reviews of Batman v Superman? They didn't like it. Straight up, simple as. Real sorry guys, they just didn't like it. And the majority of people didn't like it either. I'm not one of them. I thought it was the bee's knees, but regardless, most people weren't fans. So now, with the release of DC and WB's next film, Suicide Squad, on the horizon, the embargo was lifted and... uh-oh, whoopsie daisy, better luck next time. I don't really know why any fans of Batman v Superman were surprised at this, or why they even cared. If you like the film, then clearly you disagree with the review, so why do you feel the need to put so much stock on what some guy in a magazine or a website thinks of the movie you're looking forward to? And with that, we've reached the apex of fanboy dumbness with, what else? A petition! I think we've pretty much established now that petitions are largely useless, having been devalued to the point of meaninglessness, what with Sargon of Akkad's hilarious ban social justice courses petition to universities. But this one takes the damn cake. Abdullah Coldwater from Egypt wants to shut down Rotten Tomatoes. Let's have a gander. We need this shite to be shut down because its critics always give the DC Extended Universe movies unjust bad reviews, like 1. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice 2016, 2. Suicide Squad 2016, no mention of Man of Steel, that's interesting, and that affects people's opinions even if it's a really great movies. And then the letter is just, oh for fuck's sake, you couldn't even be bothered to write a letter! So when this petition hits its goal, Rotten Tomatoes is gonna receive, what, an email saying, shut down you pricks? You genuinely think they're just gonna? Oh, we had a good run guys, but you know, Mr. Coldwater wants us to shut down and I guess we go bye-bye. Like I've said before, I'm not someone who is making fun of this just to disparage DC movies. I loved Batman v Superman, but there's nothing worse than finding out you share your opinion with a bunch of reactionary fanboy cockbags who think the Rotten Tomatoes writes reviews. I'm sure the majority of you realise this, and I can't believe I'm having to explain it, but Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregator. It just collects reviews, it doesn't write them. The only thing it writes is the very brief summation of what the critics think at the top. This is like people who complain at the shop assistant when something is priced too high. Motherfucker, they didn't choose the price! What's even better than the petitions are some of the comments underneath it. Sorry, small update. The comments appear to have been shut down. But thankfully, I copy and pasted some of them before it got shut down, so you'll just have to take my word for it that these were real. Trust me, they were real. I'm signing so I can smugly tell you that Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Warner Brothers, who also owns DC Comics. Mic drop. Oh! You just got roasted, except for the fact that they don't. You better get that smugness in check, but I appreciate the idea. Rotten Tomatoes are a pretty sad website that is loads of biased reviews. For instance, look at Pan with Robin Williams. It was a great movie and reviewed horribly. And Sharknado getting good reviews, that's flat out sad. To hell with Rotten Tomatoes. Wait, Pan had Robin Williams? Since fucking when? I don't remember him being... Oh. You meant Hook. You meant Hook. Meant fucking Hook. Because they gave Ghostbusters a good review and can't be trusted. Oh, for God's sake, no! Not everything is about fucking Ghostbusters! Rotten Tomatoes has shown their bias time and time again. May I suggest that your average critic is too brain dead from watching Disney, spelled with a $sign, isn't that adorable, Marvel sitcoms and enjoying their free movies and junkettes to comprehend a true artistic achievement like Suicide Squad. I know it must be challenging to understand a script written by the guy who made Training Day and End of Watch instead of Bring It On, lol. Lots of people hated Clockwork Orange and Fight Club when they were released too. I actually don't have anything to add to this one, I just thought it was funny. Rotten Tomatoes is negativity affects the film industry. They are biased and try to change the public perception of films throughout history in an extremely negative fashion. This petition goes beyond just the DCEU and is something that is important to the future of cinema. If Rotten Tomatoes fixes their problems, then they can stay, but in the overwhelming likelihood that they stay in their biased ways hurting films, then this petition will be here for people to sign. This keeps on cropping up, this word biased. It's thrown around whenever people disagree with a review, but people seem to completely misunderstand what a critic is for. Yeah, they're biased. Of course they are. Everyone is biased about every film they go see. If you've seen a trailer or a poster or a review, you're biased in some way because you have an idea of what it's going to be like when you go to see it. The job of a critic is to report on their opinion of the film in a well-reasoned and entertaining way. If you list off a film's objective qualities, you're gonna 1. Have a really short review, and 2. Have a really boring review, one that has no personal perspective on the art. If you're just blandly recalling a film's quality or lack of it, you're a fucking bad critic. Roger Ebert, for example, widely regarded as one of the best and most popular critics ever, would constantly inject his own personal feelings and biases into the review because that's what made them fun to read. Seeing his personal perspective written in a fun and engaging way was what made him worth reading. Critics aren't there to tell you how to spend your money or to validate your predisposed opinion. They are at the heart of it entertainers, journalists, columnists, writers. They aren't your personal attack dogs. This comment on Facebook sums it up pretty well. You know, I have nothing against comic book movies, superhero movies, and even franchise flicks. I think escapist thrill rides have value and their place in cinema and can even be artistic. And like with any other type of films, there are good ones and there are bad ones. They're all still films to me. And there's nothing wrong with being an enthusiastic fan of a franchise. Nothing wrong with cosplaying, buying merchandises, whatever. But this shit poisons the well of mainstream critical discussion. Fanboys are the bane of internet cinephilia. Well, I can't say it any better than that. Right now.